Hey guys, welcome back to another trade recap. This time we have Arrow and ZD from last few days, and it's a beautiful trade I've taken for a nice 1 to 20, similar to the video I made about Arrow GBP. I'll be doing a full breakdown, and of course, as usual, I'll be showing to you the way I've used all the concept tips and tricks I've shared so far on my channel for you all, so you can see how to use the proper logic in order for you to get to the final outcome, which is taking a beautiful trade. So let's get started. All right, so now as usual, I came to the chart. I started looking at what the price was telling me. As you guys can clearly see, price is going higher, higher, and higher. There is no end to it. Like literally started from here to all the way up here for so many months, just going higher and higher. Now, one thing that caught my attention when price started dropping all the way down here was from this specific zone. Why you will be asking, why this specific zone? What is the matter with this? So you can clearly see that I have a line over here, which is not a trend line, it's more to draw out the liquidity that gets taken out, and then price should all there out there. So what can you guys clearly see that is missing over here? Well, guess what? A test. There's no test. You see, liquidity has been taken, price should to the upside, there is no mitigation. So that is already telling me that once price is gonna start dropping, what's gonna happen? It comes here and most likely is gonna give me a very strong reaction. There is a high probability, we never know. It can even break through it and keep going down. However, out of all the moves over here to the upside, that was the one that caught my attention. And eventually price came here and gave the massive reaction to the upside. So then what happened? Obviously, I was following my protocols and my plans. I went down over here. So before I get to my trade, I want to show you also some of the losses I've taken, because you guys have to understand why is it so important for you to accept the losses as well and how to overcome that as well. Okay, so now what we got here is that price stopped my POY, shoot it all the way upside, no way getting chance to get a trade from here because it just kept going higher and higher. And then when I started seeing this low momentum to the downside, it was telling me that okay, so first of all, we have a very strong reaction from here, which is the buyers going to the upside. Secondly, we have a very slow momentum going to the downside. So it's telling me that the sellers has lost control and the buyer has taken the power. Why? Because I see the strong reaction over here. So everything I'm saying is pretty much what are some of the things that I use as confluences when I take a trade. And then what happened is that I waited for price to reach a POY that I had over here. Eventually it came, I went to smaller time frame, left a pending order, and boom, next thing you know, direct stop loss, and it just smashed through my zone. However, look at this, it smashed through my zone that I had here, but price came back once more time inside the initial POY, which was within this week, right? So I believe this week was around due to some news or something very important. Price came here, I was still monitoring for a potential buy, and the next thing you know, boom, price exploded all the way up there. Now, when price exploded, I couldn't look much to get inside the trade because obviously it just left me behind, and I was also sleeping like 4 in the morning. However, when price broke to the upside, I knew that if I missed the buy from the earlier part of the process, which is over here, I knew that all I had to do is just wait for price to come back to my POY, and then I'll get on board again. However, as you can see, this is a very long price to the upside, so I had to wait for what? For a very long time for price to see coming back over here. So what else could I have done it just because I was waiting for the price to get to my POY? Well, I could have easily taken a trade for sell to buy. And eventually, if I have to be honest, there were some beautiful trades over here for a nice 1 to 20. I think 2 or 3 of them, but I didn't take anything. Instead of what I did, I hit another stop loss. So we're going back to this side now. Why hit a stop loss? Well, you can clearly see that I was trying to sell over here because my intentions was price to hit this specific exact zone. Why this zone? Because I have certain confluences that were telling me that this was the strongest point out of all the bullish move to the upside. So I believe I left a pending order somewhere around here to the extreme based on some of the confluences that I was looking at. So to begin with, we had a lot of build up to the liquidity, like you can clearly see that. And then there was this high over here that was a stop hunt of what? Again, this liquidity over here, okay? And then what I was waiting for is literally price to come to the extreme. Sorry, I don't know why this went over here. And then I left a pending order somewhere around there. Eventually, I got activated, but I didn't go break even, and then boom, it just smashed me through it. My target was a nice sell from here all the way to down here. That's what I was looking for. And then from here, potentially I would have looked for a buy. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. However, one other thing that caught my attention is that price started then going to the upside. At this point, I thought, okay, I think we are going to the upside now. Why? Because there is a reason for price to go higher. First of all, because we have liquidity over here, a very, very strong zone of support or resistance, you may call it, or even liquidity. How do I know it's a very strong zone? Well, usually when I see equal high, equal low, I tend to understand, first of all, what is the correct time frame that gives me the clearest vision of that, right? So we all know the institution, they trade in a higher time frame, at 4 hour, daily, and above. They don't trade M1, they don't trade 5 minute. Yeah, they may do in what's it called? Sorry, I lost the name. High frequency trading. Yeah, they do have that. However, most of the money is always moved around the higher time frame. So now I knew that this liquidity sitting above is coming from a higher time frame. So I was looking for the intention of going higher. Although what happened next is that when price went all the way up here and then it reached this extreme supply somewhere around here, price started showing a very aggressive intention to go to the downside. And as you can see, once it hit the supply, it gave a massive candle to the downside. And that was very suspicious to me. Like, is it, I don't know, are they trying to probably still going down and then going higher? I don't know if you guys watch my Euro GBP trade breakdown, but I explained it, how price moved from supply to demand and from demand to supply. Now, obviously, when it came to the supply, and I've seen this sort of reaction, I waited to see if price violate any order flow. And in this case, that's literally what happened, because price has violated this order flow over here, and bam, guess who placed another pending order based on different confluences of mine and obviously rules? Me, exactly. So I hit another stop loss over here because I was looking for short, and I was like, okay, probably now the price is going all the way down here. But guess what? And this is very, very important. I didn't put a sell just because I felt so. But the key reason, which is the most important reason why I taken the sell, is because the whole process and the whole way I was seeing the market was completely reflecting my trading plan. And this is the most important. My trading plan is saying that this type of scenario is playing out, then I go with it. I map it out, I take the trade, and that's it. I forget about it. I don't care whether, oh, it did this, it did that, or whatsoever. It's just like I have confirmations and alignment within the order flow that was telling me that there is a potential for price to go to the downside, because I was still waiting for price to come over here. And unfortunately, it didn't happen. Now, the very next thing and the most important thing, that's why I've taken the next trade, is that when price is taking out this liquidity, I don't know if you guys watched my videos about the candle size and the intentions of the big boys, but you can clearly see that there has been a huge shoot to the upside, and this shoot came all the way to the extreme of this supply. Now, here we have a very important thing that you guys have to understand, which is, how do I know if this is a very strong intentions of the market to go to the downside, or if it's a fake out? Now, if you are trading in smaller time frame, like 5 minute M1, many times you might have seen price shooting a huge candle to the upside, and then suddenly, bump, it just comes out with a wick. There is no body, done nothing. It just like it gets back to the downside. So in my mind, I was thinking, okay, this is not M1, this is not M5, this is a higher time frame liquidity drop, and there is this move to the upside. So if I go, for example, to 4 hour, I can see massive candles going to the upside. Actually, a lot. If I go to daily, for example, right, I can see that there is a fat candle going to the upside. So what I did is that when I saw price tapping this supply and giving a very nice reaction, which with this huge sell candle to the downside, I just waited for price to start delivering a nice type of order flow. And as you can see in this case, price made low, high, low, and then all I did based on my smaller time frame confirmation over here is refining a POY and leaving a pending order, because I wanted to see this, and the very next thing I wanted to see is price coming all the way down here, somewhere in this zone, right? And then guess what? I was monitoring for a potential buy from around here. Now, can you guys guess why that zone? This scenario is not the same exact things that I've shared with you over here. Don't you see? Look, build up, liquidity, taken out, reaction, and the same happened over here. Liquidity, taken out, and then guess what? There's no mitigation. So I was expecting some sort of reaction for price to come over here, right? And then potentially keep going higher. Furthermore, keep in mind though, that we still have room to the downside over here as well. Why? Because price, in my opinion, okay, I do talk a lot about liquidities, But in my opinion, and the way I trade, I prioritize always supply to demand. So now in this whole range, yeah, this is important, but we have, if this doesn't get respected, we have a massive, massive demand over here that is waiting for price to give a bounce to the upside, right? So the price is moving from supply to demand, eventually to supply. So maybe making a new high, and I have to look to the left what's going on. This being said, right, this trade was one test shot, and what do I mean is that if I place a pending order, right, for me it either comes from here and then goes down, or if it breaks to it, that means that this supply is not strong enough. So therefore, I could now start looking for a buy. Why? Because if this move to the upside is a fake out, you will never ever see price doing something like this. No, if it does, it means it's going higher. And if it's a fake out, right, you will most likely see something like this or something even like this, and then probably going higher. So that's what I wanted to see based on the price action, right? So yeah, and that's it. So pretty much I refined the zone over here with the order flow, and then let's go to smaller time frame so I can show you guys a little bit of what's going on over here, and you can guess a bit. All right, so you can see that I'm showing you guys exactly the same things over and over again, right? Again, build up, liquidity, not get taken out. Now, I'll be really honest with you guys. I do not use a lot of liquidity personally. I'm more focused on price action, like a pure price action. However, when you have price action blended with a bit of liquidity, it gives you some extra confirmation. But me personally, it's not needed. I know market is moved by liquidity. However, in the way I've learned trading, it's like, for me, price action is the most beautiful thing within supply and demand, of course. So now, that was the zone I had as a POY. I left a pending order. Then I think probably I went to sleep. And the very next thing you know is that price came to this specific zone, and then bam, it tapped to it, and then it just started melting to the downside. Now, when that happened, I was looking to understand where exactly I could have taken the trade and how far I could have taken that. Now, I already told you that I had two specific zones that I was looking at. First demand, second demand. However, the most important things, now here I got another key factor that you guys have to understand, which is the risk to reward and the risk management. Look at this. Already from there to all the way here, I had a 1 to 20. Don't you guys think that's enough? Yes, absolutely. 1 to 20, and I went for a full volume, literally full volume. Yes. So in my mind, I was like, yeah, this does have a potential for 1 to 28, and it does have a potential for, 1 to 47. Let's say I round it up to 1 to 50. However, at 1 to 20, right, I was like, okay, I'm fine with it. And also, I have a very solid strict risk management. So this was aligning with my risk management. I didn't want it to go crazy on it. And most importantly, I did hit 3 losses. So I had to keep in my mind that yes, I have to get these losses back. And on the top of that, I hit some other losses as well in some other pairs. So I was like, okay, you know what? That's a sweet spot, and let me go with it. And that's it. And that's really what happened. And look at this. It was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Literally played out the way I was expecting. It reached the demand. I was looking for a buy over here. I would have definitely gone for a buy, but guess what happened? Price just smashed through it. Now, that is already telling me that the probability of price reaching somewhere around here is extremely high, and I will be still monitoring for a buy. Of course, again, guys, this is just for educational purposes. It's not a signal or it's not anything like this. It's just based on my own understanding and the way I see the market. So once I see price coming here, and if it does give me some sort of order flow change or some sort of showing me intentions of price going to the upside, definitely I'm taking that, and guess what, going for another 1 to 20. So yeah, as you can see, it's very, very important that you combine the understanding you have about the market with all your trading plan, rules, and most importantly, your risk management. Because I could have easily held the trade all the down here for now 1 to 40, but I did not do that because I honestly don't want to go anything above 1 to 20. If it's within 1 to 20, it's beautiful. If not, then I don't even take the trade. So that's very important as well. That's why, I was looking, like, I knew, for example, when I took this sell, I know there's a potential for a 1 to 20 all the way down here, or somewhere around here as well. And yeah, it just didn't play out, but it's fine. So now when I made 1 to 20, I take 3 out of the equation, which is -3, plus the extra commission and some other losses, and eventually it gave me a very, very beautiful results. Now, here is a screenshot of the trade that I've taken on my MT4, in case someone is wondering that, oh no, he's just doing on trading view or not. But this being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, the full breakdown and the thought process I had behind it. I'm doing my best to keep it as simple as possible and showing you everything based on logic. I don't want you guys to go out there and thinking, wait, oh, what if? No, there's no what if, okay? You have to understand that your trading process has to be objectified and everything has to have a specific objective for yourself, most importantly, right? It doesn't matter what any other one is saying, it's all about you and it's about how you believe on the things that you're trading with. And this is the most important one. So you guys can see that I literally broke you down all the thought process logic that I had behind it. Of course, there is a lot more to it based on my personal confirmation and other confluences that I use as well. But this is like the wider scheme of what I've been doing and the way I'm doing it. I'm definitely will be doing a lot of more trades breakdown for you all, and hopefully that will give you tons of value and notes. This being said, I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. If yes, please subscribe, thumbs up, bell on, and I'll see you to the next one. Cheers!